Hello everyone, my name is Luz Roslyn. I'm here to teach you on how to convert fraction to decimal. I have example here on the board and we will try to solve this one, okay? So the first example is 1/4. So 1/4 or 1/4, okay? So 1 divided by 4. Okay, so 1 divided by 4 cannot be. It's 0. See, we'll put 0 here. 1 divided by 4 is 0. And then now what we're going to do, we have to put decimal point so we can add 0 in here. And then when we add decimal point here, you have to straight on top 2 in the quotient, where that one there. Okay, so now 10 divided by 4 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Then we will subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. And then 2 by 4 cannot be. So we have to add 0 in this inside, which is the dividend. Add 0 and then bring down here straight. So now 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Now we will subtract. 20 minus 20 is 0. So our answer is 0.25. So 1/4 is equal to 0.25. Or we can read this as we can read this 25 hundredths. The place value of 2 here is 2 tenths and then 5 hundredths. Okay, so that's the answer here. Let's solve 1/2. Okay, so 1 divided by 2. So again, 1 divided by 2 is 0. So we'll put 0 here. And then and then we'll add decimal point here. And then after adding decimal point, you have to put on top the quotient straight here. Okay, so 10 divided by 2, or how many 2 goes to 10 is 5. Then 5 times 2 is 10. Now we will subtract. 10 minus 10 is 0. Okay? So the answer is 0.5. 0.5. And this will read as 5 tenths. The place value of 5 is tenths. Okay? So next, we'll solve this 3/4. 3/4. 3 divided by 4. 3 divided by 4 is 0. So cannot be 0. So and then we'll add decimal point And after that, straight up here, and then add 0. So now, how many 4 goes to 30? There are 7. 7 times 4 is 28. Then we will subtract. 30 minus 28 is 2. 2 divided by 4 is cannot be. So we can't divide. We'll just add 0 into the dividend here. 0. And then we will bring down here 2 straight. So now, how many 4 goes to 20? There are 5. 5 times 4 is 20. We'll subtract. 20 minus 20 is 0. So our answer is 0.75 or 0.75. And then we can read this as 75 hundredths. The place value of 7 is 10, and then 5 is hundredths. So we can read this in a decimal 75 hundredths. Okay? Okay. So 0.75. Next, 1/5. That 1 divided by 5. So again, 1 by 5, 0 cannot be. We have to add 0 here. Then add decimal and then 0. Then straight up here. So you will not forget. Now 10. How many 5 goes to 10? There are 2. So 5 divided by 10 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Now we will subtract. 10 minus 10 is 0. So our answer is 1/5 is 0.2. And read as 2 tenths. Okay. Next, 2/5. 2/5. Now we will rewrite this one like this. 2 divided by 5. So 2 divided by 5 is cannot be. We have to add decimal point here and then 0. And then straighten up here. Then we'll always have 0 in here on top. If the number here is like lesser or less, like 2 divided by 5 is 0. And then a decimal point and then add 0. So now 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. Now we'll subtract. 20 minus 20 is 0. Okay, so 2/5 is equal to 0.4. Next, 3/5. So 3 divided by 5. So 3 divided by 5 is 0. Cannot be. Well, So we'll add decimal point straight to the top and then add 0. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. And then 6 times 5 is 30. We can subtract now. 30 minus 30 is 0. So the answer is 3/5 is equal to 0.6 or 6/10. Read as 6/10. Okay? 4/5. Let's solve that problem. 4/5. So 4 divided by 5 is cannot be. So we have to add decimal and 0, and this decimal straighten up here and the quotient, and then you will add 0. You will put 0 in here, okay, before the decimal. 0 and then decimal. And then 40 divided by 5 is 8. And then 8 times 5 is 40. We will subtract. 40 minus 40 is 0. So 4/5 or 4/5 is equal to 0.8, or read as 8/10. Okay, we'll have more example. Let's say 3/858. 3/858. Then 7/8. Okay. 3/8. 3/8. This one we can rewrite this as 3 divided by 8. Okay? So 3 divided by 8 cannot be, so you have to add decimal point here and then 0, and decimal point straight here on top, and then always put 0 here. And then 30 divided by 8 is, let's say 3/24. Yes, 3. 3 times 8 is 24. Now we can subtract. 30 minus 24 is 6. 6, we have a remainder of 6. So 6 divided by 8 is cannot be, it's very small, so we have to add 0 into the dividend here and bring down here straight. 60 divided by 8 is let's say 7. 7 times 8 is 56. Now we will subtract. 60 minus 56 is 4. Now we have a remainder again. So we have a remainder. We have to add 0 here. Then bring down here. Now 40 divided by 8 is 5. Then 5 times 8 is 40. Now we will subtract. 40 minus 40 is 0. So our answer is, now we don't have remainder. Our answer is 0.375. Or we can read this as 375 thousandths. You know, the place value of 3 is tens, 100,000. 10, 3 tens, 700. Oh wait, 3 tenths, 700, 5 thousandths. So 375 thousandths. It will read like that, okay? So 3/8 is equal to 0.375. Okay? Next. 5/8. Let's see, 5/8. Let's solve that problem. 5 divided by 8. So 5 divided by 8 is cannot be or 0. So we'll add decimal point and 0. And then after that, straighten the decimal point on top, the quotient. Add 0 here. And then now, 50 divided by 8, or how many 8 in 50s? Goes to 50s. There are, let's say, 8 times 5, 40, 8 times 6, 48. So it's 6. 6 times 6, 6 times 8 is 48. We'll subtract now. 50 minus 48 is 2. So we have a remainder. We are going to add 0 into the dividend here and then bring down. So 20 divided by 8 is, how many 8 in 20s? There are 2. Now, 2 times 8 is 16. We'll subtract. 20 minus 16 is 4. We have a remainder. Now, we have to keep adding 0 into the dividend. So, 0 here, we add 0, and we also bring down the 0 here straight. So, now 40 divided by 8. How many 8 in 40s? 40. There are 5. And then 5 times 8 is 40. Now we will subtract 40 minus 40 is 0. So 5/8 is equal to 0.625. Or we can read this as 625 thousandths. Remember the decimal point, the first number read as 10, and then the next is hundredths, and then thousandths. So we will read this 625 thousandths. Okay? Next, 7/8. So 7/8. We'll solve this problem. Okay, so 7 divided by 8. 7 divided by 8 is, cannot be, it's 0. So we'll put 0 here since 7 divided by 8 is 0. And then we'll add decimal. And then before 0, and then straight on top. And then now we have 70 divided by 8. How many 8 in 70s? There are 8 times, let's say, 8 times 8, 64. So let's 8. 8 times 8, 64. Then we will subtract. How many? Okay, 70 minus 64 is 6. Now we have a remainder. We have to add 0 into the dividend and then bring down here. Now we have 60 divided by 8 is 7. 7 times 8 is 56. Now we will subtract. 60 minus 56 is 4. We still have a remainder. So we have to add 0 into the dividend. And bring down here straight. Now 40 divided by 8 is 5. And then 5 times 8 is 40. We'll subtract. 40 minus 40 is 0. So, our answer is 0.875. Or we can read this as 875 thousandths. 0.875. Okay. That's all for today, and give me a thumbs up if you learn this lesson. You know, this is simple. As we talk about that when we divide, division, the operation involved here is division, multiplication, and subtraction. Okay, when we divide, because first we have to divide, you know, and then after dividing we have to multiply, and then after that we have to subtract. And if there is a remainder, you know, there is a remainder, always add 0 to into the dividend, and then bring down straight. And if your dividend is small, like for example 1 divided by 2, so 1 cannot be, so always add decimal point and then 0, and then after that you have to straighten the 0 on top. You know, you have to put you have to put the decimal point into the quotient, you know, and then 0 point. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy our lesson, and I know math is fun, but constant practice make perfect, you know. It's really, you know, at the beginning it sounds like it's hard, but this is usually, you know, long division. Yeah, usually we do, you know. Yep. And please share this one to your friends so we can help the students. And don't forget to subscribe our channel, Luz Roslyn, so that you will be the first one to notified every time I have new videos. So, okay. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.